So, if you're joining us now, we're here for the second topic of episode 386 of 10 o'clock. The topic is: would anyone else dig a survival horror spin off that puts us in the shoes of a Corpus Crewman? This is from Reddit. Right. So, the original post says: imagine you're a regular John, forced to serve a security detail on a capital ship, doing your best to resist Corpus indoctrination. Wait, what? Really? What? Okay.
Why would you? You
All
wouldn't care. You would. That's the point of indoctrination. Is you wouldn't even know it's there by that point. You think they'd let you on a ship before you've been indoctrinated?
yeah, that was the confusion. Sorry, let's continue. All you want is your freedom and to escape the mountain of debt that has heaped on your shoulders. Finally, something snaps. Today, you defect. Your ship is close enough to Venus, and you've heard whispers of a sanctuary in Fortuna. You've planned out your route to to the escape pods, but something goes wrong. A Grenier dreadnought punches in. Boarding parties tear into the hull. You're called to action by your superior. Yeah, but you can only fight for as long as it gets you closer to the escape pods. You know that as soon as you take your chance, your defection will be revealed, and then you'll be at odds with your fellow crewmen and the Grenier. But you press on, and just as you begin to hope, that's um, that's when that specific alarm rings. Your stomach sinks. Xeno has infiltrated the ship. Right.
I like the idea of playing in the role of a grunt for the different factions. However,
Yes.
apart from that, I don't like the rest of the story. First of all, I'm pretty sure, like the majority of Corpus crewmen are not in debt. That's why they're crewmen. Like I know that it's a bit okay. They haven't been proven or whatever, but I'm pretty sure the way that it generally works is most people aren't in debt. The people in Fortuna are specifically there because they're in debt. They are being forced to work as a slave force on one of the most harshest planets they have. If you remember from the past, there used to be the commentator on the audio thing about handrails are provided. The Corpus are not evil people in relation to their rank and file people, the majority of the people in their thing. It's only there's specific people who are the debtors. But I'm pretty sure when they say like investors and things, the crewmen are well trained, well geared. You know, their lives are cared for. That's why the Corpus even use proxies. If the Corpus didn't care about them, they would, like the Grenier, chuck them at the enemy. That's the difference with the Corpus, is that they actually do care about their people, because those are the investors. Economies don't work if only like 3 people have all the money, like or just the board, no one else. No, the money has to go up and down all over the place. You want people to invest here, invest there, spend there, do this. It has to keep spinning. So not everyone is in debt in the Corpus, especially in debt. Especially the crewmen and engineers. They got jobs. They're on ships. They're well geared. Compare the Corpus gear, as in like that a crewman has with the helmet, the optics, the weapon, is probably really expensive. That's they've achieved that. Whereas the people, if you look at the people in Fortuna, they like have a hammer. That's all they've got. They don't have a suit. They've in fact to lose their body because it's been sold to other people. So that I don't like about it. The concept of playing as a Corpus or whatever I like, but I just want to point out I don't like that about this story. Ugh.
So my understanding is the Corpus aren't entirely compos mentis. They aren't fully aware of what's going on because they're being paid like pittance. I mean, before they weren't paid at all.
The Corpus.
I mean that was the Corpus.
I don't think they're being paid a pittance at all.
Sorry. When it was the Oricon era, they weren't paid anything.
Yes, they
right?
were. The whole Corpus group or whatever were probably indentured servitude or whatever.
Yeah, but my understanding is that the reason why the Corpus don't flee at the first sign of a Tenno was due to the fact that they'd like drugged up and things. Zale's the one that would really know this.
What, you mean in Oricon times or today?
No, God, no, I don't think. Was it Oricon times? Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm mixing the two together. Maybe I'm thinking the reason why they weren't rebellious against the Orokin was because they were drugged up to the eyeballs.
Sounds right.
And they just worked. I'm uncertain. But again, I remember the old law was that the Corpus themselves didn't fight the Tenno, it was the proxies, but that was very quickly cast away. Oh, pardon me. It was cast away because the you see crewmen all the time, you know? So I'm not entirely sure. I do love this idea.
No, but you never see.
Never
seen just crewmen by themselves sent en masse. They're always supported by proxies. And look at those proxies. You've got ospreys. What does an osprey do? It provides shields to nearby units. It's supporting its units. It's meaning they'll stay alive longer. Even if they're just fighting Grineer, they will fight Grineer better. You know. And then you've got other like mowers. The way they work. You know, some of them block. You've got the riot mower. They could hide behind or whatever. And you've got ones that stomping enemies down. It's all so that the less people are sent out. The worth of a life is worth more. They're not worth nothing.
Yeah, so I do like this idea, but again, I think both of us are on the same page that then they shouldn't be in debt.
Also, the last point here at the end here, when your stomach sinks, a Tenno has infiltrated the ship. If you chuck your weapon down, most Tenno aren't going to attack you.
One would hope.
One would hope. I mean, I know there's the Grineer. You mean there's the Grineer laborers. Like, there's no advantage to shooting them. Most people probably don't. You know, I imagine if you threw your weapon down and cowered in a corner, a Tenno is probably not. Well, Warframe is not going to come and kill you. More than likely. Or hide in the toilets. We never find where the toilets are. Don't find those toilets on those Corpus ships. Hide the toilet. Warframe don't find you.
It's this is really difficult because basically, I without the here he goes trying to sound like a big guy. The ludonarrative dissidence, like it wouldn't make sense because you never see the Corpus do what this is proposing, like hiding, right? So unless you really put this spin-off idea on its head and go, so okay, imagine alien isolation, except the alien is the warframe, and we're just constantly throwing dudes at the warframe, but you have to sneak off. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I as a gamer, like the one thing I think they should do with this, and I think it would be really cool for them to add into Conclave as an event they could bring back continuously, is you play as a Corpus and you play versus Grineer. Because you remove it just, I think it would give players a grounding within Warframe, and it would be interesting to turf the example because you couldn't bullet jump, you couldn't do all these things, but you get one would have shields that regenerate, one just has higher health, whatever. It might not be balanced, it can play around, and some game modes, you can unlock stuff, whatever. But it would be an interesting PvP test. But then as a PvE thing, problem is, like, most of the environments don't, you said like alien isolation, like if you're going to add this into the game, you couldn't really say, and they add all these hidey holes and things. Maybe you could say you could hide in cabinets or something if you really wanted to, but you couldn't go too far. You can't redesign the maps for this little game mode. You have to work on what's there existing. Most map tiles don't have places to hide. How would you hide? You just have line of sight? I don't get how that would work. Because I like the idea of this, because there was I don't know if you ever played it. Do you know the Division, yeah? The first Division.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the survival game mode that they added?
Oh,
the PvP barely. Survival. Right, you know of it though, right?
Yeah.
So what that did is it took the existing city, redeveloped it so that, there's all the NPCs and whatever using existing stuff, and then put it that the objective was different. You didn't keep your gear. Everyone started in the same place on the edge of the city. You had to find clothes to make you be able to survive the cold winter, and your goal was to get into the dark zone, get a sample or whatever, so because you were dying of a disease or whatever. You had to get a sample to cure yourself, and then call in a helicopter to get yourself out, and the first person to do that wins. But it's taking all the things the game already has already. The map, the enemies, the mechanics of equipment, and then it just repurposes them into a different way. I have heard people mention, I think, in dev streams asking about, can we play as a Greener or whatever. And I think Scott always gives an answer of like, oh, those models aren't rigged correctly or whatever. And I can only understand that he doesn't understand that people don't want it to bullet jump or whatever. They don't want it to wall run. They just want to walk around, which I'm sure it can do because the model can do that. Shoot, the model can do that. Maybe looking up might be a bit like, that's fine.
No,
and then just a basic jump animation of just could do. That's all they have to do is add, because I don't mind. They don't have a jump animation.
As far as I understand, it's not the bullet jumping. It's more than just looking up. It's also the whole being able to track the body to the mouse.
Ah, okay.
So it's things like that. They're not rigged to accommodate the level of detail and perspective.
I'm pretty sure it can be done as I wave around a re-rigged model into point-to-point.
No,
movement.
but I do think it would need to be re-rigged, right? I think it could be done, but I think it couldn't be done for everything in one go. So, like, you know, doing some, I can't imagine it'd be too difficult to take. Here's a Grenadier Lancer, right? Now let's apply the same thing to a Bombard, right? That should in theory work.
Yeah.
Right?
And I agree.
But then you also have to think the heavy gunners. Does that work as well? So on and so forth.
Yeah, but keep it small. So, start with literally just a crewman and a basic Grenadier Lancer. Yeah. Start with that. Keep it small. Keep it simple. Get those two done. So do stuff with them.
So I like this. I like this idea. I think it should be.
See, okay. How about? I mean, if they wanted to rework this, the thing about getting to Fortuna, then you should play a. Like I was saying, what Division did, they reused their existing asset of the city and do it differently. Do it with the open world. Do it with Orbalis. And that you start in one corner of Valis and you have to go a certain route around Orbalis with your basic gear. And that there's you know, obviously if you go certain ways, you just get caught out immediately. You have to do little side objectives at different bases to lower the suspicion level. You know, that's how you do it. You've already got the map. You could just, you need to rig a model, and then you just have to give like little tests and things to do, which could be hacking terminals, moving objects. Job done. That would be really interesting. A cool game mode.
To me,
like a time attack.
I would make this. To me, I'd make this very. Oh gosh, what's the name of the damn thing? Like Half-Life, like very first-person shooter. you can get different weapons and things because there's no need for them to just have a specific. Oh, I have this one gun and this one gun only.
Can't do first-person, by the way.
Why can't you do first-person?
Because the game engine is not set up to do that. That's effort.
No, but the game engine is not. Effort. No, I mean this is a spin-off game. Put more effort into it.
Oh, you see, to me, when they say they want this as a spin-off, I imagine like a game, like the Division did, a game mode within the game, which is that game mode is almost a game in itself. That's how, because that could be done. So I mean, to do this as to do this as a complete other game, that would just be. I like the idea of what they might be able to do. They'd never make a complete separate crewman simulator.
Right.
Never.
Okay. So if that's the case, then I can't see how a survival horror spin-off would work without like really tying your hands behind your back. Like you say, it would have to be in Fortuna.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant about like existing tiles. Yeah. Oh god, you imagine like Alien Isolation. Like, I mean, this could be cool.
No, I wasn't thinking like 100% Alien Isolation. I was also thinking things like, you know, oh, let's just put them on like, oh, their ship gets infested, right? And then they have to like escape an infested ship. You know, again, like the whole maybe they have to go attack. Oh god, the plains of Eidolon. Like it's like I get where this person's coming from, but without really heavily reworking the engine, I don't think a survival horror game could be nearly as effective.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, if you were, if the sky's the limit and we can repurpose the game, yeah, I get you with the first person to be like first person thing. We could change the weapons and things. We'd even have them like picking up tools and things of like Corpus things like weld doors shut and things, or hacking terminals and hacking things and whatever. Yeah, but first person shooter, yeah, that would probably work well. Yeah, you make it a VR game, but I'm sorry, my brain was in like what might even be possibly achievable, and I would add it into Warframe rather than make a completely separate game.
Because if we could do the whole separate game, I would love to have things where you're in the Corpus dropships, right? You get teleported down with a Corpus beacon, right? You're able to use the teleport beacon. So you put down a teleport beacon and more of your allies and things teleport down, stuff like that. But the way the game engine is now, like, sorry, another thing, like, let us get in the one wheels, the unicycles. But right now, the game engine
that'd be a cool thing to do. Well, no, it could, because they showed the vehicle system would work, so they just make that the vehicle. But you can have that in my idea with, like, on the Valis, as you play as a Corpus Crewman. You could have that you play as, you can get in the vehicles and things, the wheels. Yeah, that'd be cool. Because they did show that vehicle system, which was working. Go change the vehicle. That'd be cool. But as a sorry, I didn't realize they wanted a full separate game. Yeah, that'd be nice, but I can dream.
I saw spin-off and it just made me think separate game.
Yeah, for me, mine was spin-off game mode, not spin-off game. Okay, that'd be nice, but I'd love, if we're talking about other spin-offs, I'd love a turn-based RPG. I'd love a puzzle game. I'd love a murder mystery game like we got for the Nightwave, but a full game of it. I'd love a farming simulator for the Osterons. It's like, no, that's gonna happen, you know.
Just trying to think. Yeah, should we go straight to the replies? I don't know if there's much else to. Yeah, okay.
Replies. I think people got other ideas. You're a citizen being transferred to an internment camp when suddenly your cell unlocks. From there, the player has to avoid/fight the infested until they find a sterile escape vessel. You'd find Corpus suits as upgrades. Citizen can only run and hide. Crewman suit, access to Prova, and unlocks access to Corpus range weapons. Ranger, mobility upgrade for the Crewman suit. These are jetpack Corpus, for your information, yep. Eximus, final suit, added survivability. Oh no, you could have more in there. You could have, like, drone controllers and things, you know, so you can control proxies and different things, and you can choose which ones you want and level them up. It'd be really cool. Yeah.
I feel that there also has to be a real appreciation for, you're not going to be able to pull off nearly as much as a Corpus Crewman as you could with a Warframe. Right? I feel that this is something like, you know, access to a Prova, that's not enough to fight the infested. You don't want to touch the
Corpus
infested.
and unlocks access to Corpus range weapons.
Yeah, but, like, you know, the freaking infested, they come anywhere near you and you're, like, in massive trouble.
You know, they've never really stated how infectious the infested are. I love that they could make them so dark and so grim, and yet they're kind of nice and tepid, really. What is the risk of being infected? Like, we had an Outriders is a game. Like, literally, you just breathe in the atmosphere near this bloody forest, and you are just infected within about 10 seconds. You've got gunk comes out your nose. Whereas, like, the infested, it's like, Grenier happily fight them every day. Yeah, just shoot them with them guns.
Yeah, but I think the Grenier are just flat out stupid.
I don't know. They never. I think it's more. They haven't really shown that you can get infected by the infested by breathing in spores or anything. They haven't really shown that level of infection. There's been more.
I was thinking, like, it bite you.
Yeah. It's more like zombie style.
So, like, you know, you got to keep it away. Actually, that's something I think would work really, really well as a spin-off, is more along the lines of Left 4 Dead.
Yes, a Left 4 Dead style thing where you play as Corpus and Grenier would be brilliant. Also, an RTS would be really good, like Corpus, Grenier, and Infested. Be very Starcraft.
Yeah, it would also, yeah. I think it would also have, like, great potential. Well, to be honest, though, I think I would rather go down the Warcraft route or. Well, Warcraft 3, where you had the hero characters and things. You didn't really have that in Starcraft 2.
Yeah, well, they love
but
it.
Not in the
multiplayer match. Yeah. The game, the system was there, but they didn't use it for the multiplayer.
But no, I'm pretty sure there was no leveling component, which was a really big part of the Warcraft 3 one, wasn't it?
I think
Starcraft 2 had.
I think it actually is in the game engine for Starcraft 2 if you wanted to, because so that they wanted
actually used. Yeah,
it's not used in the actual game, but I'm pretty sure all that stuff is there, because if you want to make a custom game, they didn't want to. They wanted you to stop using Warcraft 3 as your custom game maker, and they wanted Starcraft 2.
Yeah, but I think one of the great things is if they do like here's an RTS or something like that, it would give them the opportunity to take those components and put them back into regular warfare. Oh, look, we've created these new enemy units and so on and so forth.
We've made these Grenier buildings, put them back in. Oh, we've made this air unit, put them all back in. That'd be cool. Right, next one. Surely a Crash Bandicoot, Temple Run, etc. style game would be more fitting. Running down a hallway, trying to dodge everything coming at you, all the while a hyperactive psychotic space nutjob is pinging off every wall and ceiling and surface trying to catch you, so they can brutally dismember you, then gallop on your corpse. I guess, yeah, you just die every time you fail. Just like running through hallways. It'd be a fun little app game.
Yeah, I mean, but I was not a giant fan of the Crash Bandicoot games at all.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's just, yeah. Horror would be, instead of a Grenier dread punching you in, your ship gets a new strain of infestation. Now you're suddenly in dead space. Now that's horror. Yeah, they really need to sell the body horror part of infestation a lot more. Infested is just so cute and cuddly. That's scary.
Well, I mean, they don't oppose a threat to the warframes, but that's the point. Like, yeah. I really feel that the infested could be like, you don't want the infestation coming anywhere near you. Get a freaking, I don't know, Corpus equivalent of an Ignis and burn that crap. You know? Like, oh no. So the Myconians, right?
What?
The fact that they have those giant doors, the Myconians.
Yeah. I love the bit with the doors, yeah.
You know, you could actually have a giant, you know, like a capsule ship. You're a crewman on the capsule ship, and they just turn around and say, like, oh shit, the infestation's breached X. We need to close the giant doors at this point to prevent it from getting any further.
Yeah.
You know, or again, you could separate the ship. It's like, oh, we got to breach the bulkheads at this point in order to separate the ship, so to minimize chance of infestation.
Yeah.
I would just love stuff like that. But the problem is that I think a lot of people would think, oh yeah, trollololol, we murder everything. No, if you want the horror component, you can't have the murderization of everything.
Yeah.
You want the bare minimum survival.
I love the original Warframe concept where you are not a god made of modded slabs of metal flinging death energy everywhere. Huh? I love the original Warframe concept where you are not a god made of modded slabs of metal flinging death energy everywhere. Don't get me wrong, I love the game, but it feels as if the fast pace kind of takes away from the ambience it gets to that. Yeah, the original Warframe was a bit more restrictive. I mean, like things like movements being given to us to the point that we are just so free now, whereas before you were so limited, so it was a lot more focused and grounded. Now, because you literally can hover and fly in the air with different things, it does feel a little bit more loose. There's a core feeling change there, I'll give you that, but yeah.
I don't know what they're referring to here with the original Warframe, because to me it could be the early days of Warframe, or it could be that legendary, this is the tech demo of the Warframe.
Yeah, and the 2000, yeah, the old, yeah.
With like, it's in space, you've got Hayden Tenno versus a Jackal, I want to say.
Yeah, Jackal, original Jackal.
Which was supported by Grenier. And the thing was, he was hanging off surfaces like Metal Gear Solid style.
Yeah.
Right? I am honestly 100% behind what this person is saying, with the fact that the fast-paced nature of Warframe today has really broken that.
Like in that, it's like, oh no, there's a Grenier squad of 3 Grenier looking for him, and it was a bit of a threat. He had to use abilities to deal with them. Whereas now, like, what? 3 Grenier? What a joke.
Sorry, I'll just walk over them with my necromancer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I really feel that the immersion is broken, and it really needs to change the pace. That's why, oh god, there's an infested charger running at me as a Corpus Crewman. Get out the minigun. You know, you need to make sure that thing is dead now.
Next.
Anyway.
I'm already hooked. Original post. Being a crewman is pain. I've also always felt that Grenier vs. Corpus is better suited PvP than Conclave could ever be, and Frame Fighter should get Conclave rewards, more attention in general. Never, ever, ever. Or never, ever.
Well, I don't think Frame Fighter would get. So Frame Fighter should get Conclave. Like, why are people so obsessed with rewards?
The thing is that but okay, well, take what they're saying, but then change it to what they actually want, which is like for Conclave or Frame Fighter, if there was some sort of a weekly resetting league, it'd be better. No, that bragging rights, that's what you want.
No, but like the first sentence doesn't seem to have anything to do with, oh yeah, Frame Fighter, Conclave rewards, more attention.
No, the first bit is they already like the idea. Being Crewman's pain, I've also felt that a Grenade versus Corpus is better suited PvP than Conclave could ever be, and I agree with them. Like, it would be much better because it would be balanced sides.
Well, one would hope.
Yeah. Last reply. Make me think, what if players could invade other players' missions as a special Eximus Grenade or Corpus unit? Killing the invader respawns the invader, adds another unit until the mission is complete. Well, they've got the whole secret Stalker game thing.
That's the only way I think it could work.
Yeah.
Like, an asymmetrical PvP system, it needs to have that power level.
I can't remember.
Not someone.
I can't remember what it was. I was watching something explaining that they were talking to the devs of. Do you remember Evolve?
Oh god.
Apparently, that was one of the reasons why is because they spent so long trying to balance it, and it was impossible to balance. Impossible.
Yeah.
Asymmetrical PvP is so hard to do.
I think that's one of the reasons why. Oh god, what was the name of the game? The Predator Hunting Grounds, I want to say. The most recent one. It's just so difficult because, like, it's as soon as one side starts to gain an advantage, that's it. It's pretty much they've won. Yeah, and there's no like flip flopping around or anything like this. There's no way to rebalance things without making it unfair. It's what are you doing?
Playing with my front plate.
Right, okay, but yeah, it's
basically there's a USB port on the front of my helmet, and you can get a cooling unit that goes in there. And I wonder if I need it or not because I'm wearing this for so long.
Right, no, you need to be super powerful in order to do it. I wonder. You raised a valid point there. Is the whole reason why the Stalker mode has never been implemented is because it is just impossible to balance?
It would be very impossible to balance. And to be fair, that's why they keep. Would it be an opt-in system? Would it be something you or didn't unlock? If you just release it on the player base, and they're like, hey, I'm just trying to do my missions. You made me fail my mission because you spawned into my mission I didn't want to, and I was trying to just get on with my game. It's really annoying. So you have to make it that like there's a special node on the map where people go do it, and they know that they might get a stalker in their missions. But it's just a fun kind of side thing with no goal or rewards. That's the only way to do it. Because if you implement it on the normal solar system, which is how it would be like, oh no, stalkers joined. Oh look, they killed us all. Right, well, that was our last revive. That's really annoying. Bad gameplay experience.
What do you mean last revive?
Let's say they were down to their last revive. They've been doing some people have been doing a defense mission. They're trying to make it to wave 20. They're on wave 19. Everyone's down to their last revive. They've got no revives left, let's say. And then the stalker decides to pop into that mission because random RNG said, yeah, there you go, have a stalker. Then they kill it. Failed mission. Bad gameplay experience. That's why it's not really implemented much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because everyone wants to win.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't feel good to lose, and there's too many paths to an unsuccessful experience. Yeah, no, I never really thought about it until you highlighted it just now. I don't think that asymmetrical PvP systems really work. They're cool on paper, but it's really difficult.
Yep. Right, well, that's it for the topic. I think it's a cool idea. Like I think we should obviously it's debate. I'd love to be able to play as Corpus or Grenadier doing things, or even Infested. I think there's a lot to it, but obviously work needs to be done, and I think it should be done within the game, not as a separate game, because never. Yep.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you very much for watching and listening to this episode of Warframe topic number 2 for 10 o'clock episode 386. If you want to listen to the full episode, you'll find a link in the description below. The whole episode is timestamped, so you can skip to wherever you want, and you can also enter in to win free platinum. So, that's always a plus. I don't know how far people get to this point in the individual topic episodes. I need to look that up. But yeah, and don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. We read every comment, and we reply to them in the main episodes. So
or on YouTube. Yep. Right, that's it.